I often try not to be too sycophantic here because you know I'm a massive Horizon fan. Let's take a step back first of all, right? When you came out the back of Forza Horizon 1, what were the first things on the list for you that you wanted to address?
That's a great question. I mean, I guess the first thing we knew was that the next one was going to be on Xbox One, an entirely new platform, more power, better graphics architecture. So that was a whole world of opportunity which opened up for us, allowed us to be really creative with our thinking around visuals, around Horizon beauty, around making this game more social, more connected. But one of the things that we really wanted to concentrate on with this game was to create a truly open world. Yeah. You know, make sure that there were no barriers, no walls where they don't exist in real life, and really give the player the opportunity to drive wherever he wants, to go, explore, discover whatever he wants.
All right, magic. And it shocked me when I heard that Forza Horizon took 18 months to develop. I mean, that seems like a bit of a superhuman effort. You know, have you been able to relax into Horizon 2 a little bit more?
There's been no relaxing, I could absolutely tell you that. Yeah, I mean, I think Horizon is an achievement that I'm personally incredibly proud of. I'm incredibly proud of the team. But I feel like we've gone on from strength to strength. I think we've really got into our stride with Xbox One now. We're really getting a hang of that as a platform. And I think the visuals and the gameplay really tell that story in Horizon 2.
Magic. All right, so let's have a look. You know, we've got the, this is the Gamescom demo.
That's
Horizon
right, on the show floor, playable
right
for everyone here.
Fantastic. So this is the demo that everyone coming to Gamescom will be able to play on the Xbox booth. Talk us through a little bit about what we're seeing here and some of the things we should be looking out for.
Absolutely. So we're on an awesome street race from the festival, which is now located in the south of Tuscany in northern Italy. It's one of the two countries we feature in Horizon 2. And Andy is driving the Lamborghini Huracan, I believe it's pronounced, which is our hero car, our cover car. He's driving down to the coast. And as you can see, he's on road, but he's also going cross country as well, because that's part of that Horizon freedom that we're trying to create everywhere in the world.
So Horizon has come to Europe, which I think is great news. You can see why. I mean, these roads are incredible. You've got a mix of kind of fields and vineyards, and we'll see some cliff roads in the later in the demo as well. What kind of choices did you make? Why did you settle in northern Italy and the south of France?
Well, you know, both the south of France and the north of Italy were individual locations we considered for the first game. Actually, I eventually Colorado won out. But when we came to consider where we were going to set this game, we thought, you know, we have a bigger world now. We have more power at our disposal. Why not throw a net over both of those areas? So we're in the south of France. We're in the Côte d'Azur. Then we go across the border into northern Italy. And as you say, incredible driving roads. Phenomenal scenery, one of the most beautiful parts of the world, and incredible diversity as well, you know, and the types of places you explore, not just rural locations, but the city of Nice as well.
And diversity in locations, diversity in weather as well, right? We're seeing the dynamic weather in action here. Talk us through this.
Before our very eyes, yeah, we're absolutely delighted to be bringing dynamic weather to Forza for the very first time. It's something that we've really wanted to do. It's something that the fans have been asking us to do for a long time. We're delighted to be delivering it in Horizon 2. And you know what? It's a system which really leverages Xbox One, the power that we've got. We've built it specifically for this console, so it's really sophisticated next-gen stuff. We actually simulate the entire atmosphere, the particles within it.
Like rainbows.
Down to mathematically correctly modelled rainbows.
Okay. Will there be double rainbows in Forza Horizon 2?
I cannot reveal that at this time.
Okay, that's probably a deal breaker for me, so we should talk about that later. But what implications does it have for gameplay when you bring in the dynamic weather?
Right. So it's not just changing the visuals, which it does, you know, from minute to minute as you're driving around. It's also changing up the driving experience as well, as you'd expect. So it's Forza, so all of our 200 plus cars handle the wet differently, all the tyre compounds handle the wet differently, and of course it's changing that racing experience, particularly if you're in cockpit cam. You know, you have the rain beating on the windscreen, your windscreen wipers on full, spray being kicked up by the car in front. You're really getting a changing driving experience. It's very challenging and a lot of fun.
All right, very good. So how did we get on here then? Doesn't look too good. I mean, I know we've got customization and personalization in Horizon 2, but that's probably not
sure
the type
Lamborghini are going to be happy with that.
Anyway, let's get into what you talked about today in the briefing. The most social racing game ever. That's a bold claim, Ralph.
Right, yeah, absolutely. But you know what? As I said on stage, I think we have a feature set that bears that claim out. You know, it's something we said right from the start of the project. Let's make, first of all, an experience which is truly next-gen in an online sense. Because Horizon is a social experience. Festivals, car culture, they're all very social. We want people to enjoy the game with their friends. So really our entire social feature set is about allowing people to do that in a way they feel comfortable with and in any way they want, really. So you could be playing asynchronously with people who aren't even online. Drivatars are other people's representations of themselves in your world. But then when you want to jump online, as we saw in that video documentary we showed on stage, it is instant, it is seamless. And we're trying to just knock down that barrier between solo play and online play and allow you to get into the action as if you were switching channel on a television.
You mentioned Drivatars. I wanted to ask you about that. They felt like a real game changer in Forza 5. How are you bringing them to Horizon 2?
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And I've told a lot of people about the day we switched on Drivatar technology in Horizon 2. And, you know, our races changed instantly, you know, because it's a very sophisticated AI system. What's happened more gradually, but I think is even more profound over the months since, is as people have started playing our game, their Drivatars now populate my world. And it's not just the way they drive, it's where they drive, and it's their personalities expressed through their cars. The cars they've chosen, the way they've painted them, the way they've tuned them. So every morning when I switch on my console at work, my world is full of personality, and that for me is the special thing about Drivatar.
All right, so which car are we going to choose this time? We've got an Aston. Looks good. Let's take that. Let's talk about online road trip and free ride. You mentioned them, or they were mentioned in the video that was shown during the briefing. They both sound great. Tell us more about them.
That's right, yeah. And really our goal here is to give people options in the way they play online. So online road trip is a very directed tour of the world. Everybody in the session is taken to a destination. They'll compete in a championship there, and when that's finished, the winner is crowned and everyone votes on where to go on to next. In online free roam, we really want you to make your own fun. So we make everything that's available in the solo game available online. So you can do races, you can do playground games, you can do cooperative bucket list challenges. It's all there. You can even go and find collectibles, hunt for barn finds with your friends. However you want to play the game, we're enabling you to do it with your friends online.
So let's talk about those barn finds and the collectibles. I mean, that was one of the best things about Horizon, in my opinion, is just pootling around the world, knocking all those things off the list. They're back for Horizon 2, right?
They're back, and I think they're better than ever. So we've taken the opportunity to refresh those cars. So now more than half of them are cars you will never have seen before in the Forza franchise, which makes it extra special when you discover them. I guess the trade-off there is that with our truly open world, we have just so much more space to hide those barns in.
Right.
I think it's going to take you a little bit more time to find them, but you know, it's really going to be worth it to find one of those unique, never before seen in Forza cars and restore it to pristine.
Okay, so let's talk about cars. We've got 200 in the game.
200 plus available
200 plus,
from September 30th for everyone.
All right, so tell me, call out some of your highlights, your favourites, and some interesting stuff we're going to see.
So my favourites are the interesting ones. You know, I mean, it's great to have the Lamborghini Huracan as our cover car. I think people are going to be excited to play it. It's never been in a game before. We have some extreme off-roaders as well, as it befits our truly open world and the all-terrain nature of it. We have the Dodge Ram Runner, we have the Local Motors Rally Fighter, really challenging off-road cars. But my favourites are the cult classics, the personality cars. We have a 1945 Willys Jeep. We have a 63 Volkswagen camper van. These are great fun cars to upgrade, maybe to engine swap, and then take out on the road.
And of course, you're getting all that amazing Forza detail we're used to. Can we switch back to in-car? As I know the hardcore Forza fans love this. You know, windscreen wipers occurred to me the other night. If you're chucking in dynamic weather, you have to think about windscreen wipers quite a lot, I bet, right?
They all move now, and that's one of the things that we have to do to make a car horizonified, we actually call it in the studio. There's a whole bunch of tasks that we have to do. We have to animate the windscreen wipers, and you will not struggle to believe that all of them are animated in exactly the correct way. But we also make the dash illuminate, again, as the real car will. We have to make it get wet, so inside and out. Our audio guys tell me that we have different sound effects for the windscreen wipers, whether you're inside the car or outside it.
Nice.
That's the detail we go to.
That's amazing. So let's talk about off-road as well. Again, one of the really important parts of Horizon 1. It's back, I guess, right?
It's back, and we're doing lots more of it. And the map is, I think, 3 times bigger in terms of the drivable space. You know, and that's not necessarily roads. That's fields of crops. That's vineyards. That's forests and hills. And once you get into the game, once you really get into the flow of it, we're really teaching you to go off the beaten track, to find the best route to wherever you're going. Forza has done a great job of training people to follow the green line over the years. We're kind of disabusing you of that notion a little bit and encouraging you to find your own route. And it's just crazy fun to barrel over hills and through fields, going to your next destination.
And the thing we really have to drive home here is that hey, we came first that time. Nice, getting warmed up.
He can stay.
So you're going to be able to do all of this in car clubs as well, right?
Right, yeah, so 2 great online features which aren't perhaps your traditional competitive online features. They're more about socialising, meeting people, making new friends, we hope. So clubs is one. We allow up to 1,000 people to join a club. So maybe you're part of an existing social network, you can just transplant that into the game. Maybe you want to build up a massive club that can compete on the global leaderboards. Again, you can do that. But if you want to have a club of 5, of 10, of 20 people, it's entirely up to you. Clubs are a really flexible tool to let you socialise and play the game how you want. Right. And then online car meets, I think, are really awesome, inspired by real-life car meets. Yeah. You just rock up at one of these meets in your car, and you're automatically driving into an online session with real people that you can chat to, you can share tips, you can compare your cars, you can race, you can all drive off into the online game together.
Okay. We can't talk about Horizon without talking about music. Right? Such a powerful part of the first game. You know, for me, that Porter Robinson track, whenever I hear that, it just instantly takes me back to Horizon 1. What's the plans for Horizon 2? And, you know, what can you tell us any tracks you've got in there?
Yeah, well, we're going to be talking about the specifics of the track list really soon, in the next couple of weeks, but I totally agree with you. For me, music is incredibly important to Horizon. The guy who curated the first soundtrack, Rob DeBank, he's back on board. He did such a phenomenal job the first time, we had to ask him back, and this time we've given him even more license to be creative, to identify new acts, new songs. We have twice as many radio stations this time, we have twice as much music, so there's just lots of diversity, some classic acts, some classic tracks, but also some really cutting edge stuff, which is really just making it to festival stages and radio playlists right now, and we'll continue to do so after launch. And I think you're going to find lots of tracks like that Porter Robinson one in the new game, which becomes synonymous with this one.
Magic. Ralph, when will we be able to play Forza Horizon 2?
It's available everywhere from September 30th. It's going to be October 2nd in Germany, October 3rd in UK.
Magic. Thank you very much, Ralph. Really appreciate it. If you're coming to Gamescom, you'll be able to play Forza Horizon 2 this week. Now we're going to hand over to Larry, who is talking to someone who I think you'll find very familiar.